In a world plagued by $70 games and in-game microtransactions, a brave adventurer embarks on a perilous journey going through the worst, the best, and the most questionable games, on a mission to find the best games hidden in the indies. Okay, who the fuck wrote this script? Hey, what's up guys, my name is Crash, and today we're going to be talking about Megabonk. This is made by one indie dev and honestly is pretty fucking good. If you ever tried it, it is honestly pretty amazing and kind of reminds you of Vampire Survivors. It's a new roguelike that just came out and honestly it has a lot of charm compared to a lot of other games that you have had in the last couple years. Don't get me wrong, this isn't a genre defining game for the roguelike genre. There is a lot of different games that have already come out in this genre that are really good, but this one still holds a huge highlight in it. There's only 2 maps so far that you get to play, and that is one in the forest and one in the desert. It's all randomly generated, so you don't expect to be playing the same match over and over again, and same with like the items. There is a huge variety of different items like tomes, weapons, and just random variety items that give you a whole bunch of stuff to buff you throughout the matches. Some of them are only positive and some give you positive and negative defects depending on. And it really is entertaining to collect these things throughout playing the game. The only other thing that you really get to do is collect characters, and it's really fun to do that as well. As you go on and play through the matches, you find different challenges that you have to do to unlock these said characters or items, tomes, whatever it may be. All of them have like a unique thing that you have to go and do in the game that kind of makes you go out of your comfort zone to try something else and try to do something new, which makes it a lot more entertaining for follow-up matches that you get to actually play, because at least there is a goal in mind every single time you play through the match. At least for me it was. As you're going through, it is only a 10-minute match that you usually play through, at least for the first tier. After you beat the first tier and find the first portal, it actually unlocks another tier, and then after you go through the second tier, it's pretty much the same thing, just at a harder difficulty. But after you finish that one up, you get into the third tier, and this is where it gets kind of interesting. So pretty much all you're doing throughout all these tiers is just collecting and getting ready for this final boss. And it's honestly kind of enjoyable just going around collecting all these items, and actually gives you a little bit of challenge, and it's really enjoyable trying to find different weapons that work and mold together really well. Same with the tomes and items. So after you collect a decent amount, you end up going to the last fight, and this is where you get to fight Darth Barker, or the other one, which is just Anubis, and that one is really entertaining as well. I had a lot of fun trying to get through these and fight these final bosses, mostly just because of like the random variety of like how the matches are going to go, because there is no guarantee what weapons you're going to be getting, same with tomes and all that, and it kind of makes it a lot more challenging. Don't get me wrong, you can unlock items that make it a little bit easier depending on like what weapons you want to use. Sometimes you can turn off certain ones, at least later on after you beat a lot of the game and do a lot of different challenges. And the way you unlock that is through the shop. This is the new unique thing that they threw in for the game, and the shop is pretty much where you can unlock a whole bunch of silver upgrades. What silver is used to unlock items after you have completed the challenge on these said items. And you can either upgrade that, you can get a skip, refresh, depending on what you want in this store. Same with you can unlock more weapon catalogs, so you can have more weapons or tomes, and you can also decide which type of music you actually want to listen to throughout the game. The only other upgrades they have in this is where you can turn off which weapons and which tomes that you do not want to use. Same with items. Not all of them can be turned off, but a certain amount of them can be. And it's honestly kind of fun having that be able to be an option later on for players that just don't want to keep getting these certain items, which I really like. But after that, the shop isn't really much more to it. Same with like the items and stuff. All of them are pretty fleshed out, honestly. There is an amazing amount of stuff in those. And same thing with the character variety. There is actually an insane amount of characters in this game right off the bat, which I really like. The only one that's really down is just pretty much the 2 maps. That's the only thing that's kind of disappointing, but this is for like later date stuff, so I don't really care. As of right now, it is good enough for $10 to have only 2 maps, so at least you have these ones that you get to go through and play. But how is the gameplay, honestly? When you're playing through, it just all feels really good. It feels like it's really well made, and whoever actually worked on this did a great job. He really can pull out what is exciting and what is interesting to play in a game, and what is actually fun to do when playing a game. And it all works really well, at least in my opinion. But there's not really much else to the game aside from these things, but it's still really entertaining to go through and have a little bit of fun with. There isn't a whole bunch of stuff that you get to do outside of just doing the roguelike, which is completely fine. That is what the game is made for, and it does really good at what it's trying to be. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me, guys. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and a sub. And if you have any suggestions for anything else to check out, make sure to leave them down in the comments down below. But I'll see y'all next time. See ya.